Shalom, shalom, shalom. First, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, or Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the men of the Lord who's pushing this word, this truth, this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom to all the sisters out there who are sitting back, listening, paying attention, and learning in silence. Shalom. Today's lesson, I want to get into the degenerates of this generation. And I don't know if y'all see it, man, but looking around, looking at our people and see the state that they're in is a disgrace. To see the way that they're acting, the way they behave is sickening. When you travel the world, everywhere you go to Jamaica, you go to Barbados, you go everywhere you go, our people are just in a docile and sickening state, man. And this is the reason why, and the reason why they're in this state is because they have separated themselves from the Most High. They have like pretty much deserted the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why they're acting this way is because they have no laws. You know, they have no rule. They have nothing about them, man. You know, and this is the reason why they act like that. You know, in when the Most High Yahweh took the children of Israel out of Israel, he specifically told them, don't do as the Egyptians did. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't follow them, because the ways of the Egyptians were wicked. It was a degenerate state. You know, it was a wicked state. You know, they used to eat every and anything. They had sex with any and everything. You know, everything they did was wicked, man. So when the Most High took the children of Israel out of Egypt, he said, listen, you know, I'm going to make you a separate people. I'm going to make you different from the others, you know, and wherever you go, people will know that you're the children of the Most High. If you follow these rules, these laws, these statutes, these commandments, these judgments, if you follow these, people will know that you're a separate people from the people of the Egyptians, man. And in today's day, the Egyptians are you heathens, man. You wicked people. Esau Edom is the Pharaoh is the Pharaoh, the modern day Pharaoh, who's ruling over these Egyptians, right? But without further ado, I want to get into the word degenerate, right? I want to get into the word degenerate. Now, the word degenerate, having declined or become less specialized as in nature, character, structure, or function from an ancestral or former state. So before our people were a special people, right? They were looked upon people, but because of their degenerate state, they went to this decline. They became less than, right? And when you look at the next one, it says, having sunk to a condition below that which is normal to a type. And look at our people. They have sunken to be the worst. The worst there is on planet Earth right now is the so-called black people, the Israelites, right? And right now, the Mosai Yahweh Bashem Yashai have woken up certain men, you know, certain people of the Israelites. The elect are being awoken right now. So you can tell that the elect are in a different state of mind because we act different. Well, I'm going to say we, hopefully, you know, because they act different, man. They act different, right? And when you go down, especially having sunk into a lower and unusual, corrupt and vicious state, right? And when you read this one, it says being simpler, of course, has having a factor of constant equal to 0 than the typical case. this word is has a lot of different meaning, man, and all these meaning is directed towards you degenerates of the house of Israel, man, right? But let me get into a precept real quick, right? I'm going to start at Jeremiah 2, and I'm going to start at verse 20. It says, "For of old time I have broken thy yoke and burst thy bands, and thou saidest, I will not transgress." So the Most High took us out of many different captivities, man. And every time He would take us out of different captivities, by breaking the yoke from off the necks of the children and by bursting the bands, you people of Israel, you would say, okay, yeah, we came out of slavery, we came out of the oppression. So now we're not going to transgress the laws of the Most High anymore, right? And it says, I will not transgress when upon every high hill and under every green tree thou wanderest playing the harlot. So even though the Most High took you out of one captivity where you were worshiping false god and you were worshiping idols, you were doing a bunch of wicked things. When He took you out of those state, what did you do? You said, okay, you know what, I will not transgress. But then what did you do? You go back and you start playing the harlot. You start going to every religion that there is. You became a whore, right? You became a whore. You went into worshiping wood. Went into worshiping stones. You went into worshiping the sun. You went, like, every day you find a different thing to worship except the true and living power, which is Yahweh, right? Instead, you kept playing the harlot. You kept being a whore, messing around with all these different religions, man. Right? And verse 21, it says, Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, right? Holy and right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? And this strange vine is all these other different philosophies, these different religions that you're following, that turn you into who you are today. You have strayed away from the true and living vine, which is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And because you have strayed from the true and living vine, now you are a bunch of degenerates running around with no laws, no statutes, no commandments. And right now you are destroyed. Right? Let me jump in a precept real quick. It says, Jeremiah 4:22. It says, for my people is foolish. Right? It says, they have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. Because if you understood, you would have stayed with Yahweh Shemel Shai. But because you don't understand, you go out there when you worship all these false gods. You know what I'm saying? Which is this vine that's not benefiting you, turning you in a bunch of degenerates, a bunch of stupid, foolish people. It says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. So because you have taken on the ways of the Egyptian, right? And all they do is evil, you have learned evil. You're now wise to do evil, right? But to do good, you have no knowledge. Because to do good, you have to have the laws, you have to have the statutes, you have to have the commandments, you have to stay within the realm of these laws in order for you to be true to the Most High and to yourself, right? And let me just get into verse 23. It says, I beheld the earth, and lo, it was without form and void, and the heavens, and yeah, that's not going into it. But yeah, man, my people are foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good, they have no knowledge. Like I explained to you just now, right? But let me get back into these degenerates, right? Let's go into, I want to get into this one, the biology of this, right? All right, so right here it says to pass from a higher, because we were higher. We're a chosen people. We're a chosen generation. The Most High set us apart, right? It says to pass from a higher to a lower type of condition. Come on, man. We were up there. We were royalties, kings and queens. We were. But what happened? We went into a lower type of condition because we deteriorated. How did we deteriorate? Because we had no rules, no laws, no statutes governing us. We had it, but we never followed it, right? We never followed it, man. But what happened? Come back to the Most High, come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and watch how your life changes, right? And it says to sink into a low intellectual or moral state. You got our people out there twerking. You got our people out there eating that swine, eating, well, we all know swine is the garbage collector of the earth, right? Shrimp, lobster, the garbage collector of the ocean. You know, there's a reason why the Most High told us not to eat these things, man, because these things are supposed to meant for one purpose. Their purpose is to clean the earth, the ocean. That is why these things were created. They weren't created for you to eat. But you have sink into a low intellectual, and because your intellect is low, you go out there when you follow what those heathen do. Because they're not wise. They're stupid people. But you following them, right? Our moral state. It says to sink into a low intellectual or moral state, right? And when you look into that, it says to debate degenerated into a shouting match. When you read down again, it says to decline in quality. Shit, man, this is crazy, because when you look at our people, there's no quality black people out there. These celebrities who they claim who's supposed to be quality, you know, in order for them to get to the state where they are, they had to do something wicked, man. They had to do something wicked. And if you look on the internet, the truth is coming out about a lot of these celebrities right now, what they did to get to where they are, right? It says to decline in quality, right? And when the next one now is the biology, says to decline from a condition or from the standards of a species, race, or breed. So there's a huge decline amongst our people, man. A huge decline. They don't even act like people anymore. They act like animals. They're beast-like. And the reason why they're beast-like is because they don't follow the laws. They don't follow the statutes and commandments of the Most High. So instead of following it, they follow the ways of the heathen. And the heathens are beast-like people, man. Right? And when you read on, it says to evolve or develop into a less autonomous or less functionally active form. Whew. This is madness, man. When you look at our people, these definitions explain who you are down to the T. To evolve or develop into a less autonomous. Let me get into a precept real quick, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 7, and I'm going to start at verse 8. It says, behold, he trust in lying words. This is Jeremiah 7 and verse 8. And it reads, behold, he trusts in lying words that cannot profit. Right? So you trust in the lies of this system. You know, you follow the ways of the heathen because what they're telling you is smooth things so you can go out there and live happily, per se. You know, because I guess wickedness makes you happy. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to really follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which can profit you. Because those lying words won't profit you at all. It profits them, you know, because this is their kingdom, But it doesn't profit you because this is not your kingdom. You know, I think Micah 2 and 10. Micah 2 and 10. KJV. Micah 2 and 10, it reads, Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. So this kingdom is highly polluted. It shall destroy you, and it's clear as day what has happened to you people. You people have become a bunch of degenerates because you live and follow the ways of this system. But Micah was telling you, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. This is clear as day that our people is in a docile state. Our people have become a bunch of degenerates, to the point that it doesn't seem like they can return. In fact, they cannot return. They will not return. In this kingdom, in this day and age, 2/3 of them will be cut off. Let me get that precept. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it reads, And it shall come to pass in all the land, says the Lord, that 2/3 in it shall be cut off and die, but 1/3 shall be left therein. So 2/3 of you degenerates of this society, you Israelites, you are going to be cut off, because you will never come back to this truth, to this wisdom, to this knowledge and understanding. You won't. You're going to stay in that docile, degenerate state that you're in and be destroyed. Right? And it shall come to pass that in all the land, says the Lord, that 2/3 in it shall be cut off and die, but 1/3 shall be left therein. And that 1/3 is talking about the elect. Right? And verse 9 reads, I will bring the 1/3 through the fire. And what is fire? Fire is a purifying agent. So the Most High is taking the 1/3 and he's bringing the 1/3 through the fire, not to destroy them, but to rebuild them, to purify them. Right? Will refine them as silver is refined, and test them as gold is tested. Right? And how does that happen? How does that happen? When gold is tested, it goes through the fire and it burns it, right? Taking out all the impurities, right? And it reads, they will call on my name. They who will call on my name? The Israelites will call on the Most High's name. And what is his name? His name is not God. His name is not Yahuwah. His name is not Yeshua. His name is not Yehovah. His name is Yahweh. And his son's name is Yahweh Shai. Right? It says they will call on my name and I will answer them. So you go ahead and call on God and Yahweh and Yeshua and Yehovah. Call on those names, because the Most High will never listen or answer to that name. He will only answer to his name, which is Yahweh. Yeah, they will call on my name, Yahweh, and I will answer them. I will say, this is my people. And each one will say, and each one will say, the Lord is my power. The Lord is my God, pretty much, right? Yahweh is my power. Right? Let me get back into a few of these degenerate terms. Right? It says, one degraded from the normal moral standard. You people have no morals, man. None. You walk around half naked. You twerk everywhere you go. Every time a music comes on, the first thing you do is bend over and start twerking. That is a clear definition of a degenerate. Right? You're a sexual pervert. You're having these orgies. Multiple partners one time, adulterers, fornicators, right? And I think that's it on the word, man. But I wanted to get into a few more precepts. I got this one for you. I want to get into a few more precepts real quick, right? Let me get Jeremiah on Zechariah. Hosea, yeah. I want to get into Hosea. Hosea reads, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because they have rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children." Right? It says, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore, I will change their glory into shame. Yo, look at these people, man. You got these men walking around with their pants down to their knees, showing their, you know, you got these women, they can't function without wearing somebody else's hair, right? Their shame, their glory has turned into shame, right? They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. That's what they do, because all they focus on is just sinning day in and day out. Their mind is far from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, right? And there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them their doing. So the 2/3 of you are going to get punished. So everything that you work for, you're going to get paid for it, right? Everything you work for, you are going to get paid for it, right? Everything. I'm going to read this one more time. It says, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge." And where is knowledge? The true knowledge is in the scriptures. True knowledge is having the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And it's clear as day that these people do not fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because if they did, they would be in this ministry, in the truth. They would come back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So it's clear that these people have no wisdom, they have no knowledge, they have no understanding of what's really taking place, right? It says, "I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children." And what happened? The Most High has separated himself from the children of Israel. He does not speak to the children of Israel, just like he said right here, "I will also forget thy children." So right now, the Most High is not dealing directly with the children of Israel. And the only way back to Yahweh is through Yahweh Shai. The only way back to Yahweh is through Yahweh Shai. That's it. That's the only way back. Okay? And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutation to the men of the Lord who's pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth. Shalom.